the tee for just a second. There you go. Just stay there for just a second. Good. So what I look for here is we need a place for your arms to hang under you, right? If you're reaching for it. And in order to do that, your torso needs to tilt more forward. So we're gonna stay, you're good right there. So what I'm doing here is if I put a line right on your armpit, it basically comes down, it would intersect your kneecap and then hit you on the balls of your feet.
Okay.
Normally when your hands go up, your torso comes up and I'll say you stand up. And so that's not helping us rotate with a tilted turn. You follow me? So you're starting a little too vertical to begin with.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Good. Well, so we have to be careful that we don't try to find the comfortable in what I'm telling you, because you'll just ultimately, especially when you leave me, you'll go right back to where you were. So I'm just yanking you outside the comfort box here. All right.
And that's square. Right?
That's square. Yep. Awesome. Good. So, feel how early this is happening in your wrist right here? Normally you're not used to that much wrist action. Go ahead and turn. Good. So left shoulder's down. And now you have a full wrist set and you're only at like 9 o'clock, which is pretty good. Normally your club would be way out there.
Okay.
Got it? All right. And so here's a drill we can do. We're gonna go, we're gonna preset the club. All right, so that when we preset it, your hands basically just hinge, but they're right in front of you, right? So the left arm's nice and straight, and you're at a full, pretty close to 90-degree angle right there, right, with the left arm. So we've already created the set. Now we're just gonna turn your left shoulder under, and that becomes the top of your swing. Okay, I'm just giving you some feels here. Go back to the beginning. Good. Now, if you just go back just a little bit further here. Now, the way you want to, this is a kind of a hand training exercise here. Actually, most of what we're doing here is figuring out what to do with your hands. As you come to the ball, if the tee is the ball, this is how your wrists need to work. Okay, so you just squared the club face up right there, right? Now, if you did that with a dead shed face, it's going low and left. That makes perfect sense to you, I'm sure. All right, so your right hand's much more on the side. The back of the left hand is starting to point more at target.
Yep.
Okay, now you continue through it. The club starts to exit more left. Now your pressure's going over here, and maybe not so much out in your toes. And then everything starts to fold up and you're that way. Okay. You don't have to find this perfect finish. I mean, there's Arnold Palmer comes to mind, right? He had kind of a funky finish. So, but in the end, I think you're athletic enough and probably pretty flexible enough that you should be able to ultimately find some decent balanced position over here. Okay. So, go back to the idea would be as you come down. So this would be this exercise helps you produce a solid punch shot. So we can think in terms of that, right? So it's probably a 9-3 swing roughly. So the idea would be here to here, where we're not kind of hitting the stick, okay? Or not hitting it hard, I will say. Now, when you get to this point, you're going to do a little check and make sure that the back of the left wrist is a little bit bowed down, just like when we were bringing it to the ball, right? And then if you look at the club face itself, the leading edge would be vertical. So if you swing through it and you miss the stick and you feel like, hey, I'm kind of have this angle going on, but the face is wide open, that ball would have gone to the right.
Yep.
So this is just a self-check, right? It allows you to, again, if you were taking some big swing, you would have no idea what just happened right there. Because if you can take it from 9-3 and hit these little punch shots and control the hands, get your grip in order, control the face, then it's getting to 3/4 and full. It's a whole lot easier. I can't just take it full swing, full power, and get you to do all this stuff, right? So, but the upside to it is it's a very functional shot on the golf course. Bump and runs, same thing. Punch shots under trees, whatever. Kept trying to keep it low into the wind. All these things are fully functional. So come on over here. And I'll walk you through this a little bit. Good. And come on down. Good. Good. So that will be your mark right there.
Okay.
Like that. So we're kind of slamming on the brakes at the tee in order to get it to stop right there. But if you hit it, it's no big deal. It's just going to rattle. But let's. So that was a little bit of, you may have felt a little bit in the hands with that going the other direction. So I'm gonna let this guy go off to the side just a little bit. Good. Good. Now stay right there for a second. So actually get back to the beginning. And you can sometimes reverse engineer this stuff, right? So if you say, if I just take it from here and go to the mark, and I can check everything out. Left arm's nice and straight, face is more vertical. Now I can take it right back to here. I can feel what my wrists are doing, and then I can go even further back and feel what my wrists are doing, right? And then I can bring it right back here. Boom. So you're gonna feel a lot more torso driven with the movement, right?
Yeah.
So here.
And that should be the position of the face right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It can't be this way and it can't be that way.
Gotcha.